The morning dawns with the sun rising over the hills of Stormveil. The entire silhouette of the Stormveil castle is ominous and dark. Hundreds of soldiers guard the walls as they watch the horizon endlessly, waiting for the incoming attack. Godrick looks at the painting of Godfrey a final time and asks him to bear witness. Witness how he will bring true greatness to their house and dynasty. After this, the Lord walks around the castle, giving orders to secure and prepare. He even orders some of his men to let the spider out of the pit, have it guard the hallways and the courtyards like a dog. The guards are scared of this but are forced to do so, or they will be thrown at it for food. Margit sits on a hill not too far from the castle. He also keeps watch endlessly, waiting. He looks at the rising sun and cites an ancient poem, honoring his ancestors. In the wilderness of Limgrave, we see Rogier and Nepheli en route to the main road that leads to Stormveil Castle. They talk a bit about their plan. So they wait until the next caravan arrives at the pond not too far from the road where they usually rest. They kill 2 guards, disguise themselves, join a group, and then into the castle they go. Nepheli is very focused, pretty much only thinking about making her father proud. Rogier attempts to have some small talk as they venture forwards, but hardly gets any answers. He knows why she acts silent the way she does, and eventually also mentions how her father already is proud in case she needs the confirmation. Nepheli claims it's not just for her father, but also for the Roundtable Hold, their clan. They all depend on their mission right here, right now. Doesn't he feel the same weight of all of this? Rogier states he does, very much so. But in all the years of being here, he has learned a very important lesson. Tackling a mission with or without the fear of failure doesn't really change their odds in the slightest. They soon arrive at the main road near a large pond, and wait. They wait for a long time. They wait for so long that Nepheli starts to get impatient, and Rogier eventually hums a song, a beautiful one, to calm the nerves. He stares at all the wildlife around them. The birds, deer, sheep, the bears in the distance. It's actually rather beautiful if they ignore the giant looming castle of Stormveil in the distance. Sure enough, soon a large convoy appears in the distance, en route to the castle. And sure enough, they stop at the pond to have some rest. Rogier and Nepheli try to figure out which ones they will ambush, and eventually they see a small group venturing into the bushes. They follow them, hiding themselves the whole time. It's a tense and stealthy moment. Rogier and Nepheli stay hidden for as long as they can, right behind the small group of soldiers, as they all take a dump in the bushes. The moment one of them isolates himself, Rogier, with the quickness of lightning, uses a magic trick to pull the soldier towards him and knock him to the ground, snapping his neck. Easy. Rogier wants to do another one as well, but Nepheli stops him. No, she must do it herself. And without a word, Rogier stops and lets her do as she pleases. In another moment of stealth, Nepheli sneaks to another guard, as he is taking a piss against a tree. And with her 2 axes, she soon slits the man's throat. Done. But then another guard appears out of nowhere and sees her. Nepheli is taken off guard, but Rogier is very quick to intervene by slamming the guard against a tree with some magic, saving themselves. They both hold their breath, but they're safe. Rogier chuckles. It's been a while, but he has kind of missed the thrill of all of this. And Nepheli just stays deadly silent and focused. They soon change clothes, and both dress up as the guards, hide the bodies, and join the other group. Rogier assures Nepheli to stay silent. Godrick has no women in his armed forces, so please stay silent. You'll have her back. They join the others and are questioned about the other missing guards, but Rogier, slightly changing his voice, tells them that the other guard was attacked by a wolf. They managed to kill it, but the guard in question was killed. No one makes a big deal out of it, and soon they proceed. And the entire way to the castle is filled with dread and suspense. Nepheli is quiet and does her best to stay calm, while Rogier now also feels the nerves slowly taking over. The giant silhouette of Stormveil gets closer and closer, until they are right in front of it, and the gates are lowered. They made it. Rogier whispers to Nepheli that they almost made it inside. They're halfway there, almost. As tensions rise inside them, they venture into the castle along the rest of the convoy, and soon the bridge is raised again and closed. Nepheli and Rogier are locked inside. Not too far away from the castle, Finnick and Atlas also stand watch, inspecting the complex. They know they can easily head back to the Roundtable and join the main forces, but both Finnick and Atlas are destined to prove themselves. They need to make an impression on Gideon and the others, so they will attempt to infiltrate the castle themselves, wait for the attack to begin, and then lower the bridge. It's suicide, it's crazy, it's foolish, but they have found strength and courage with each other. So, here we go. They soon ambush a small patrol of guards, which they kill pretty easily. They leave one guard alive as they question him under force. There has to be another way inside the castle. Speak up, and they'll let him live. The guard refuses for a moment until Finnick slices his finger off. The guard now begs for mercy and reveals there is actually a small tunnel on the cliffside. It will take them to the sewers and inside the castle grounds. Finnick and Atlas smile. They have their way inside, and once the guard properly tells them the way to go, they kill him anyway, and hide the body. The moment they do that, however, suddenly they notice Margit, and as fast as they can, they hide underneath a large rock to stay hidden. Margit is very ominous, lurking around every tree it seems. Finnick looks at him with hatred and vengeance, and he almost wants to draw his sword, but he knows it would mean death for him and Atlas if he does that. It's a tense moment, but soon Margit leaves the area, and they're in the clear. The two men venture towards the cliffs, trying to stay in the shadows the whole time, and what follows is this nail-biting sequence where the two brothers must try to go along the steep and high cliffs to reach the tunnel on the other side of the complex. It's at least several hundreds of meters where they have to cling on the rocks, hoping not to slip or fall. Atlas is panicking like crazy, but Finnick encourages him, even though he's feeling the same. The wind is brutal, the waves clash hard beneath them. Every wrong move, every badly timed step is death. It's relentless. It's absolute horror. Atlas, around several dozens of meters in their climb, freezes. He can't. What on earth is he doing? But that's when Leona appears behind him. She holds him tight and encourages him as well. She knows he can do this. He has faced a rune bear. He has faced a tree sentinel. He can do this. He can do this. Finnick also shouts at him. Come on, brother! They can't quit now! Melina is also motivating Finnick every step of the way, whispering inspiring words to him, and he needs them for sure. Finnick soon reaches the tunnel and climbs inside of it, now waiting for Atlas. Come on, Atlas! You're almost there, come on! Atlas is frightened, so frightened, but he keeps going. Only several more meters to go. He's almost there. Almost. Just a little further. And then he slips. Atlas curses as he loses his footing, but Finnick reaches out and just manages to hold his hand tight. The two men grunt and do everything they can to save themselves. And by a miracle, Finnick manages to pull Atlas inside the tunnel. Safely. The two brothers sit there for a moment, breathing hard, composing themselves. They look at each other, and eventually start to laugh. This is madness. But they survived. By all the gods, they survived. They have their laugh, their moment of triumph, and then they know they must continue. Finnick pulls Atlas back up and asks if he's ready for what's next. Atlas smiles. After all that, together, always, my friend. The two venture into the sewers and eventually find a ladder upwards, which leads them into one of the many towers. They are very silent, as there are guards everywhere, and they very quietly and slowly venture inwards. Out in the distance, hidden in the forest, Gideon stares at the castle, and he whispers for Nepheli to not fail. Please, don't fail. Dialos appears behind him and mentions all the troops are ready, and that's when we see hundreds of Tarnished, everyone from the Roundtable Hold, all of them staying hidden in the trees, waiting for that bridge to come down. Waiting. Inside the castle itself, Nepheli and Rogier find a way inside one of the main towers that will lead them to the battlements, hopefully to the lever of the bridge. It's another very stealthy scene as the two have to blend in. They occasionally are approached by a guard or servant, and Rogier constantly has to bluff his way out of conversations while Nepheli just stays silent. When they enter a tower, one of them bumps into Nepheli and demands her to apologize, but Nepheli stays silent, which leads to a heated moment as this asshole guard demands an apology. Rogier claims the soldier can't speak. He has had his tongue cut out. The guard acts very suspicious, and then leaves. That was close. Further up the tower, they hide behind a corner as the two try to navigate themselves towards the bridge lever, but they just know they'll have to kill at least one guard on their way there. They can only bluff for so long. Both Rogier and Nepheli compose themselves and head further. Quietly. Very quietly, until suddenly they are attacked from behind by Finnick and Atlas. A struggle ensues, as the two men clearly have the same idea of blending in. Rogier recognizes them instantly, and after a brief and almost comedic struggle, he takes off his helmet and tells them to stop, stop, it's me! Finnick and Atlas are gobsmacked to see them. Damn it! They could have killed them! Rogier and Nepheli are equally shook. What are they doing here? Why didn't they go back to Gideon? Atlas, very confidently, claims they wanted to prove their worth. That makes Nepheli chuckle, but Rogier groans. He's all for bravery and brotherhood, but it's one thing to attack a tree sentinel head on, and then there's doing this. How stupid are they? Coming here? Jeopardizing the whole plan? Finnick admits it was a rash decision, but they're here now, so at least they can work together. However, upon looking at Nepheli, Finnick's look does get somewhat colder. Nepheli is clearly bothered by this, and Rogier thinks and thinks, being forced to accept the situation. All good, but the four of them are going to be a lot harder to stay hidden. They venture forwards, as they know they're all going to have to kill two more guards if Finnick and Atlas are to stay hidden as well. But that's when they suddenly hear strange sounds coming from down the hallway. Not knowing what it is, the four stay hidden, and are soon horrified to see that it's the spider. The disgusting creature is patrolling the hallways en route to the guard tower. There's no getting past it. It's blocking their only way. Rogier curses. They're properly screwed now. We have this whole moment where Rogier and Atlas are coming up with ideas to get past or distract it, while Nepheli attempts to talk to Finnick, but Finnick shakes his head, wanting no conversation with her at all. He still blames her for what she did during the trials. Nepheli does try to make Finnick see the reality. He took part in the trials to become a great soldier for Gideon, and here he is, right in the middle of their operation. He's got exactly what he wanted. Why is he still mad? Finnick claims that it's not that he was denied to Gideon's elite force, it's because of how she defeated him. She struck him in the back, like a coward. It was without worth or respect. Nepheli sighs. Finnick, not a single enemy in the whole world is going to fight him fairly if that's what he believes. She saw a chance to win and she took it. Finnick isn't having any of her explanations at all. He's here to do a job with them, but he has no need for a friendship or whatever. Nepheli sighs at his stubbornness. Would he have done the same? Finnick claims he wouldn't have. He would have told her to face him and fight with respect. Nepheli simply shakes her head again. Tell her again. In a year. He'll have killed more people from behind than he'll ever think of right now. And the two leave it at that. Rogier is finally forced to admit there is no way to get past the spider. It's suicide, and once that creature notices them, it's going to alert the entire castle. They have to sneak around. Finnick curses. That's going to take hours. The moment they discuss this, however, the suspicious guard from earlier suddenly appears with a few more. They see the four tarnished right there. Atlas notices them first and instantly throws a knife at him. Rogier, Nepheli and Finnick act as fast as they can to stop the guards before any sound of alarm can be heard. One of the guards raises a trumpet, but this is smacked away by Nepheli. Another one wants to shout, but is stabbed in the throat by Finnick. Rogier uses magic to pull all the guards together and knock them down. That was close. They all sigh. But that's when another guard suddenly appears from behind them. Nepheli gasps, the guard shrieks, and accidentally bumps into several crates, causing them all to collapse. And this instantly alerts the spider in the distance. The monster roars. Rogier drops all stealth. Run! The spider storms at them with bare teeth and all its arms and legs. It's a horrifying sight. The group manages to evade it as the monster manages to catch the one guard first, devouring it instantly without thinking. Rogier sees the hallway open. This is their chance! They run as fast as they can down the hall, towards the battlements, towards the bridge lever. The spider sees them and storms right behind them. It's extremely intense. Rogier looks back and uses magic to launch several attacks, but the spider does get hurt, sure, but it's seemingly unkillable. Every limb that gets hurt, or injured, or even gets detached, it doesn't even seem to mind. It just roars and keeps on charging as an unstoppable force of carnage. More and more guards appear as the sounds of terror fill the hallways. Atlas, Finnick and Nepheli do their best to kill many of them, but once they reach the staircase towards the battlements, it's over. The monster grabs Nepheli by her legs, but Finnick manages to cut off its arms, freeing the woman. They all run up the staircase as Rogier is knocked off it by the monster. Finnick yells for him, but Rogier shouts to keep going! They can't stop now! The whole castle will be upon them soon! Don't let this be for nothing, he'll find his way back to them! Rogier is left behind with the spider as dozens of guards appear. It's seemingly a hopeless moment for the wizards. But Rogier is powerful. So he conjures multiple attacks at once, using a lot of his energy. But he fights back nonetheless. The last thing we see of him is him charging at the dozens of guards, while the spider climbs up the staircase to pursue the others. Rogier attempts to stop it, but can't. On top of the battlements, more guards notice what's happening. All sense of stealth and undercover are gone. The three tarnished just kill every single guard in front of them. Behind them, the spider bursts out of the staircase and pursues them along the castle walls, destroying everything in its path. Atlas now sees how they can't make it. He yells at Finnick and Nepheli to run forward. He'll hold the monster off. He tries to be brave even though he's shivering like crazy. Even Leona is yelling at him to run, run! He'll die! Is this real? Atlas thinks. Is this how we'll die? Is this it? Is this it? But then Finnick appears and pushes Atlas to the side, throwing a torch at the spider. This hurts the beast, but it just gives them some time to run. The horns of the castle sound loudly. Godrick storms out of his room and into the courtyard. What's happening? Is the attack upon them? Multiple guards are shouting. Intruders! They have intruders! Nepheli reaches the main tower with a bridge lever by herself. She quickly kills all of the guards there. She looks back at Finnick and Atlas, who are sprinting as fast as they can. And the spider, completely set aflame, is right behind them. Finnick and Atlas, while running as fast as they can, yell from the top of their lungs. Drop the bridge! Drop that fucking bridge! Without a moment's thought, Nepheli destroys the lever, causing the entire drawbridge to fall down. The castle is opened. Godrick sees it and gasps in horror. It's silent for a while. Until suddenly, we hear a war horn coming from inside the forest. And the sound of thunder, rumbling. An army on the attack. All of Gideon's forces charge towards the open gate, storming out of the forest. Gideon is on the front line, charging along with them, with Ensha and Dialos by his side. Attack! For the Roundtable! For the Elden Ring!